What?
We've only been here an hour. You've made 2 calls.
And?
You hate the phone, huh?
I don't hate the phone.
Actually, you do. Hey, did you know Alexander Graham Bell and Eli Gray both simultaneously invented electronic sound transmission devices? It came down to a race betwixt the two.
Yeah, and Bell beat Gray to the patent office by a matter of hours. Common knowledge.
Why are you acting so weird?
We're sitting with a guy who knows that there are 800 kernels of corn on the average cob.
Arranged in 16 separate rows.
And you're calling me weird?
You're getting some loving, aren't you? You got a boyfriend.
You are basing this on what exactly? The fact that I don't like the phone, that's all you got? That's your best? You've been a profiler for how long, Derek? And that's weak. That's weak. What's weak?
Morgan thinks Ella's a boyfriend.
Nothing. See, you just denied it.
Do you? It's more fun not to answer that question.
That right there is a yes, baby. I knew it. I told you.
She didn't really admit to anything, man.
Thank you.
Reed, trust me. You got a lot to learn.
All right, this is everything the Tampa office has on Mark Gregory. He's a single white male, 38 years old, graduated from FSU, started his own real estate company with a business partner 5 years ago. He frequently travels for work around the country, sometimes overseas. Just last year, he purchased a very lavish home in Sarasota.
What was he doing before he got into real estate?
Says he raced cars after college, even worked as a chef at a French restaurant.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah, he's plenty mastered. He worked as a staff photographer for a couple of magazines along the Central Coast before transitioning to work with models in Miami.
Strange, so many serial killers make a hobby of photography. Must have something to do with the act of voyeurism.
What about his bank accounts and credit cards?
They seized everything after he disappeared 36 hours ago.
So when he uses his credit cards or goes to his house or work, then they've got him.
I heard enough about Mark Gregory. I want to hear about his victims.
Gregory used different forms of torture with each one. Choking, burning, suspension, and beating. Drowning was the only constant.
They're all classified as wet drownings, which means the victim was alive when they were submerged. They could feel their lungs filling up with water. It's an extremely painful way to die.
Why would he take the time? They were barely alive after all the torture.
Well, drowning's a form of torture, too, and it's all part of the signature.
SSA Raymond McCarthy.
SSA Jason Gidding, we spoke on the phone.
Sorry for the temporary setup. We wanted you closer to where Mark Gregory lives. Please continue.
We were just discussing drowning as a cleansing ritual.
If we look back into Gregory's childhood, we may find what he needs to purge.
You think that's the best use of our time? We're urging to find this guy. He got away on our watch.
Well, but by studying his behavior as a child, it helps us understand why he does what he does.
You know everything about this killer except why he does it, so the further we go back, further ahead of him we might get.
Do you have any idea how many people drown every day?
Well, yeah, they're more in the summer for obvious reasons, but I think it averages at, what, 6,500 a year, which is 17 a day?
Is this Reed?
What, are you impressed?
I am, Slick. I am. You've been doing your research, haven't you? Hey, this one sounds particularly creepy.
Garcia found a lead in Tennessee. Allison Glennon was snatched from a grocery store a couple hours ago and survived an attempted drowning in a motel pool.
Motel pool? It doesn't sound like our guy.
Yeah, I know, except that she's identified Gregory as her attacker, and the place is less than an hour from the last killing. Garcia's giving Ellen Morgan details right now.
Good. Reed and I had another talk with Mark's father. We need to get everybody on the phone.
Hey, Gideon.
We think Mark's first victim was his mother.
What?
I'm sorry, you're saying a 10-year-old killed his own mom?
Well, it's a common theory that sons can fixate on their mothers since their mothers are their introduction to love.
And if that mother had a negative influence on them, in this case she was an adulteress, it invalidated not only the father, but it reflected poorly onto the son.
Mark Gregory was a child, but he was old enough to understand what his mother was doing. He was protecting a weak, impotent, passive-aggressive father who wanted his wife dead. He read the old man like a book and lived the life he couldn't.
Because she was his mother, he saw her as a saint, but because she was a cheater, he also saw her as a sinner.
There's a good chance he caused the car to crash.
Do you think the father knew his son was a murderer?
Yes.
That's why he's so overprotective of him.
We need to go through all the evidence from the car accident, absolutely everything.
News articles, medical records, police reports. I'm on it.
We need to do it as quickly as possible. He's a killer on the run, and he's grabbing women as he sees them.